warned her, "Stay inside. Don't come out, no matter what you hear." But Alara, stubborn as the wind itself, refused. "I'm not hiding," she said. "I've hidden my whole life." The outlaws demanded she show them where any treasures were hidden. Callum tried to reason, tried to keep them calm, but their patience was short. Shots rang out, echoing across the valley, tearing through the quiet night. Dust and smoke mingled as Callum shielded Alara, dragging her behind crates and barrels. The world outside became chaos, but inside her chest, her heart hammered with a courage she hadn't known she possessed. She grabbed one of the discarded pistols, hands trembling, and for a moment felt alive in a way that was frighteningly beautiful. The fight ended quickly. Callum had wounded one, and the rest fled, leaving the valley silent once more. Alara, trembling and dirty, leaned into Callum. "Why did you stay? Why didn't you leave me to the desert?" she asked. His eyes, tired but soft, met hers. "Because even the quietest places need company sometimes. Even the loneliest hearts need someone to watch the sunset with." The next morning, the sun rose golden over the canyon walls. The desert, vast and indifferent, now seemed to hold promise instead of despair. Callum prepared to leave, the road always called him. But Alara stood at the threshold, dirt-streaked and sunburned, holding onto a small pack. "I'm not going back to silence," she said. "Not anymore." Callum blinked, surprised but not unhappy. "You sure?" he asked. And in that moment, Alara knew she was. The desert had tried to break her, but instead, it had taught her resilience. Together, they rode out of the valley, the horizon stretching endlessly ahead. Dust rose behind them like a memory of the past, but the road ahead was theirs to shape. As they rode, the wind carried a faint whisper, not the loneliness of before, but the soft murmur of shared hope. Alara glanced at Callum, and for the first time, she smiled without fear. The desert, once an expanse of sorrow, had become the stage for something new, something enduring. And though the world was wide, unpredictable, and often cruel, she no longer felt small. She was part of the vastness now, riding beside someone who understood the language of silence and the weight of loss. Even in the harshest landscapes, love could bloom, not loudly, not flamboyantly, but quietly, persistently, like wildflowers between the cracks in the earth. And as they disappeared over the crest of a distant hill, the sun caught their figures, casting long shadows behind them, shadows that whispered of endings and beginnings, sorrow and joy, solitude and togetherness. Alara's story, once one of despair, had been rewritten by courage, resilience, and the unexpected arrival of a rider who had understood the desert as she had. The wind, the dust, the endless sky, they all seemed to sing a quiet lullaby, celebrating the improbable, fragile miracle of connection. And in that vast, empty desert, the girl who had once been alone found that she was no longer sad, no longer silent, but ready to live. The desert would always be harsh. It would always test, always challenge. But now, she was ready. Together, they rode on, two figures against an endless landscape, hearts beating in rhythm with the pulse of the earth, finding in each other the home they had both been searching for.